Right, this is a quick walk around video for a Honda Accord. Definitely one of my favourite models, this car. This is the 2.4 litre petrol automatic EX, so it's top of the range, sat-nav equipped model, and it's got the most astonishing Honda service history attached to the car, just 75,000 miles. What I'll do is I'll just go around the car for you and pick up on any blemishes that are immediately obvious to me. Front end of the car, nice and clean. Lenses completely intact, no condensation, cracks or anything in there. The fan you'll hear cutting in and out, just been on road testing the car. It's quite normal obviously with the bit of heat on the engine. Bonnet of the car, very, very clean indeed. Only sort of minor stone chipping. I don't think this thing's been sort of ploughing up and down the motorways in all honesty. There are a few little stone chips, of course there are, but they are very, very minor. Bumpers very nice and clean. There was a few little touch-ins. There are a few little touch-ins around the car. Obviously over 10-11 years of ownership, you're bound to get some here and there. But you know, the interior condition and the history really do merit it. You know, this is a very nice car indeed. Front alloy there, really, really clean. Just tiniest little bit of curbing, which again you would expect. Panel work down this near side, absolutely crisp. No indentations, car parking dinks or otherwise on there. But very, very, very clean indeed, as you can see. As I said, you know, I am honest on these things. There will be the odd little mark on here, which obviously isn't immediately obvious to me, or and again, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But this is one handsome car. Twin tailpipes, as you can see on the EX models, and come around the back of the car here. Again, all in very good order. Just a little bit of sort of entry wear in and out, and a few little light marks just around the Honda badge there, which have been, you know, they may well just polish out. I don't do that because I'm terrified of burning the paint when doing these things. Come down the offside, again, absolutely mirror smooth on the panel work. There's no indentations there at all. Rear alloy on the side, absolutely unmarked. And so the panel work there is really good. Again, I think there was a little mark, a little scratch, sort of quite a longish one, but very light, which someone's touched in. Again, with a little bit of a mop, someone will be able to get rid of that, I'm sure. But really, this is a very, very, very genuine car. Last alloy, completely unmarked, apart from a tiny little bit of curbing. But very, very, very clean and tidy car. But as I said, really nice and original too. So I'm still on the outside here, just to quickly show you. Obviously you can't do it with the engine running on the key fob. Obviously it's got electric tailgate on the car, and just to show you it all in operation. And whilst it's open, I'll just take the opportunity to whiz in and just show you absolutely how cavernous this boot area actually is. The netting, tonneau cover, everything's still good and intact there, but all in generally very, very nice order. But genuinely absolutely massive, much bigger than the later versions actually in the boot area. And then press the button again to close it. You can do, there's a button inside the car, you can do that on the key fob itself, or you can do it the old fashioned way by lifting it yourself. Coming to the back of the car, really fabulous order. Rear door card on the near side there, see, absolutely super. Full set of original Honda mats in the car as well. Leatherwork is really, really nice. Full black leather interior. It's been kept very, very, very nicely. Back of the passenger seat on the front again, all really good. Quite often these are battered with kids' feet even. Plastic on there, really nice. Back of the driver's seat again, in really nice order, as is the door card on the offside there, which looks absolutely like new in all honesty. But loads of space. It's a sort of one action quick release on those seats, with the very, very clever design indeed. Tons of legroom, again much more so than the later versions. Coming to the front, driver's door card, again hopefully you can see, because it doesn't really do it justice. Really clean all around the switches, really nice as well. Sill area, footwell area, really nice. You can see genuine Accord mats in there. The sill area, electric seat, and bolsters look absolutely superb. You really, really do. It's, again, you'd expect over 10-11 years to show more wear than that, but there really isn't. And just come across the passenger seat, again in equally fine order. Absolutely lovely condition. Just to quickly show it here, obviously electric sunroof on the EX models. You can just tilt it by pressing the button there, or slide it back, but all fully operational. So sat inside the car now, so I'm just going to release the handbrake there. Sat in the car now, engine running as it has been all the way through. You can see passenger front door card, again, just looks as new as with the other ones. Beautiful order. Just to quickly show you down here, the full locking wheel that's set and owner's manual pack are still all here and intact. That's not always a given, as you probably find out a week after you own the car. Pan across the dashboard in wonderful, wonderful condition, beautifully, beautifully built. Sat nav system, you can see they're all fully functional, really nice and easy to use. Obviously just air conditioning, and then audio is just press of a button there. It's all, as you can hear, works beautifully well. And then down here, controls for your air conditioning system as well, including kind of the demist and heated wing mirrors and rear window there. But it is in fabulous, fabulous order. It really, really is. Heated seats all work absolutely beautifully. You see that even the center console's in lovely condition as well. I'll just pop that open. You can clean a car, but you know it's got to be clean to start with to make them look as original and as tidy as this one. And just going across here, incidentally, air conditioning pumps out lovely cold air, by the way, just in case you're wondering. Coming to the dashboard, you can see there 75,397 miles. No warning lights on the car at all. Nice simple display from Honda as you'd always expect to get. Auto lights and auto wipers all working perfectly, and then you've got your multifunction steering wheel with obviously radio top left, cruise control top right, hands-free functions for compatible phones on the bottom left, and information display control switches, control switch down there. But it really, really is in fabulous order. And as I pick up on the following road test, which comes after this, the only thing I can find that doesn't work on this car, I'm sure there must be something else, but there's the only thing I can find, that wing mirror there, basically. It, just to show you, it adjusts right, left, up and down absolutely perfectly. The heated element works perfectly as well, but what it doesn't do is power fold in. Whoever had the car previously, near side ones, most prone to taking a battering on cars, and I think the chap just secured it in situ to stop it sort of flapping around. So that's the only thing on this car that I'm aware of that doesn't work exactly as it should. So finally, just come, well not finally, because I've got one more thing to do after this actually, come to the service history. Wonderful history. Every single service has been done by the same Honda dealer, which is John Banks in Ipswich, dealership I know quite well actually from my previous time at Honda. They have serviced it, as you can see here, at 5,000, 12,000, 19,000, 17,000, 20,000, 27,000, 34,000, 42,000, 49,000, 60,000 and 68,000 miles, which is a quite remarkable history for this car. So finally, just come under the engine bay, as you'd expect from Honda, absolutely beautifully laid out and presented here. These are simply brilliant engines. You know, I go on about it in the following videos, so I encourage you to watch on further. But you know, a simply astonishing unit. They always sound noisier, by the way, on the video than they do in reality when you actually stood here. It's just the microphone picks up on every possible thing. But it's a really tough engine. They've gone for hundreds of thousands of miles with just regular servicing. What will follow now, hopefully, will be a road test of this very car. Right, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda Accord. This is the Tourer, or Estate as I like to call it, and it's the 2.4 EX automatic. This particular car is registered AV56ENN, and mileage at the start of this brief road test is 75,347 miles. The reason we do the videos is we want our customers to see the cars in operation prior to coming to see us. We're now selling to customers from all over Europe and the whole of the UK clearly, and we feel it's right in this day and age that if people are willing to invest the time, energy and money to come and see us, the least we can do is show you the car in operation prior to coming to us, so there's no kind of hidden horrors, and I can relay back to you and feedback anything on the car that may be relevant, good, bad or otherwise. And I am critical on the videos, so if there's something that isn't right on the car, rare as it might be, then I can feed that back to you. Also worth pointing out, the video is done on the same roads locally to us where anyone would be coming to buy the car, will be test driving the vehicle, so in that sense should be representative of what you should feel yourself. So starting with the engine of the car, sorry, before I do that, just a bit brief sorry, I'll get my words out in a second. Basically, the car has had a wonderful service history. I mean, it's been brilliantly looked after by the Honda dealers throughout its life, and that you can tell very much as soon as you drive the car. It's got a real tightness, solidity about it, which comes from years of investing in the mechanicals of the vehicle, and so that really does translate into a wonderfully solid and tight car. Excuse me, I'm going to start coughing. Pardon me. So starting with the engine, an absolute gem of an engine. This it really, really is. It's one of my favourite Honda engines of all time. 2.4 litres, best part of 190 horsepower or so. Pull like an absolute train. They really, really do. It's got, not only has it got a lot of top end power, but it's got a lot of low down grunt. You can really spin the wheels up easily by pushing the throttle down hard. It's very un-Honda like in that sense in terms of VTEC, because it's a lot more torque than you'd necessarily expect. But the way it delivers its power is just fantastic. I mean, it's got all the best bits of a 4-cylinder engine, which is obviously reduced maintenance costs, lightness, durability, amongst many other things, obviously fuel economy clearly. But what it's got, which 6-cylinders have, is it just this unbelievable refinement. There's just no vibration coming back into the car at all. It's just a truly astonishing engine. Of course, being a Honda engine of this generation, it runs a cam chain, so there's no schedule changes for cam belts or anything like that, and that's normally about this miles in any used car. So you've not got no huge bill looming, and nor have you got an engine joined top to bottom by a rubber band, basically, which I think is an appalling idea. I really do. But the engine, spot on. No warning lights on the car relating to the engine or any other part of the car either. Engine then feeds through into the gearbox. Again, typically Honda gearbox, wonderfully smooth in operation. Feels as tight and as crisp in its gear changes as it did when it was new. It's got no slack in it. There's no thuds, bangs, wallops when it goes into gear, and you've got to check automatic gearboxes. Less relevant in fairness on Honda because they don't really suffer from those issues. But a really abused car, would show signs of wear, and this shows absolutely none at all. Really, really is a fabulous unit. And the way the engine and gearbox combine together is brilliant. It's, I say in all my videos of the 2.4, and I genuinely, I really do mean it. In the real world, you've got a car here that's just so relaxing to drive. It's got loads of power, loads of torque. It means you're not thrashing the gearbox up and down, you're not working the engine as hard, which is obviously better for long-term durability, quite clearly. But what it delivers is also, in the real world, actually in my opinion, better fuel economy than the 2 litre. Some would say about the same. The manufacturers claim the 2 litres do better. Well, they might do in static laboratory tests, but they don't do on open roads like this. It's a genuinely wonderful, wonderful unit. So powertrain of the car, absolutely spot on. Car tracks, absolutely bullet straight. There's no vibrations coming back through the steering. Steering is as tight as it was when it was new, and I'll talk more about that in due course. But just to pick up on, you know, what this video is all about, rather, which is kind of looking for signs of wear and tear on the car, and there's nothing on the steering. Likewise, chassis of the vehicle, tight, crisp, compliant, very, very comfortable. Lovely riding car, and there's none of those sort of nasty little clunks or bangs you sometimes get with cars with a bit of age with them, where you've got a bit of movement in the struts or the drop links and things like that. This feels absolutely tight. It really does. It's a wonderful, wonderful car. Just check the cruise control function, working exactly as it should. Brakes on the car, lovely solid brake pedal. That's the first of the things to talk about, actually, only briefly. When we picked up the car, front brake pads and discs in really good order, rear discs excellent, rear pads were just a little bit on the low side. I don't know whether they'd make an advisory on an MOT or not, but we've had them replaced anyway, so you've got brand new brake pads on the back of the car. Looking around inside the vehicle, it is in extraordinary condition. It's a lovely, lovely clean car. I love the interiors on these. Simple, beautifully built, not a hint of a squeak or a rattle. We're now looking at a car that's, what, 10, 11 years old, and it just shows what true build quality is. Not manufactured in, heavy thunky doors. This is what a really well built car is all about. Beautifully assembled, as I said. Quality of the interior components are a very higher standard. Fully functional air conditioning, absolutely works perfectly, and it's dual zone, so you can do it side to side on the car. The sat nav, you can see there, working exactly as it should as well. Obviously it's all touch screen, so you can just press the aircon, go up and down the buttons there as well, but it's all working exactly as it should. There is a hands-free or voice activation system for that as well. That's, in my opinion, a bit of a gimmick, you know, because it's fine when the car's static, but when you're on the move, it, you know, it rarely answers the question you asked of it. But it really does all work absolutely beautifully. Heated seats are working fantastically well. I know that because I've got them on, because it's a chilly old morning this morning, and I've got a nice warm backside. Instrument cluster of the car, again, typical Honda, clear as a bell. Only information you got on there is what you actually need, and it's all working perfectly. You've got a little trip meter there with information display, so you've got things like, you know, average fuel economy, distance left on the tank of fuel, etc, etc. Temperature gauge, a third of the way up the gauge, which, as you know from my other videos on Hondas, is exactly where it wants to be on a Honda engine. Petrol, diesel, doesn't make any difference, it should be the same on both. And then we've got auto lights and auto wipers. I mean, it really is a genuinely huge specification car. And then you've got this multifunction steering wheel with audio top left, cruise control on the top right of the steering wheel, and then we've got information display on the bottom right here, and hands-free functions for compatible phones on the bottom left there. But, you know, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful car. The only thing I can find, if you to sort of criticise the car for in any way, and quite common unfortunately on cars on the near side, the near side folding actuation on the wing mirror doesn't work. Now you can hear it whirring around inside, but it's obviously been knocked at some point, and I know that because whoever had the car before has secured the wing mirror in place. So, you know, it all works. The electric wing mirror adjusts up and down, the heated element works absolutely perfectly. So it won't fold in, whereas the right hand one will fold in, and all the other functions working as they should. But that really is the sum total of any issues on the car. Power tailgate works perfectly, electric seats work perfectly, all the electric windows are working absolutely as they should. But to come back to the car, my personal opinion is that in this category of car, you know, I don't think there's a finer car out there. It's got probably the best engine and gearbox combination in its class by a country mile, especially when you factor in things like reliability and economy. The chassis of the vehicle is quite extraordinary. It's very comfortable, and this is a horrible section just here now. This is really ripply, and it catches any sort of firm riding car out where they jar and jump up and down. This glides over them beautifully, but what it doesn't lose is precision in handling. It is an astonishingly capable car, and the way the chassis and the steering combine together, it's one of Honda's very, very, very best cars in that, and I love it. I absolutely love these cars. You know, if you're looking at competitors maybe at this type of age of mileage, you might be looking at top-end Toyota Aventus, but they're dull as ditch water. Nice cars, but they're dull. Then you'll be looking at Passats, Audi, BMW 3 Series, possibly C-Class, and they're all just bags of trouble by comparison. They're all good in their own ways. They may better them Honda slightly in other ways, but not be as good in others. You know, the Mercedes might be slightly quieter. Well, it is. I know it is, but it's, you know, a lot more trouble than these. And they don't handle anything nice either, but that's by the by. But basically the point of the video was just to show the car in operation. If there's anything on the video I've missed, then I do apologise, but please don't hesitate, do give me a call and I'll happily answer any questions you might have.